The Mpumalanga Grassroots Football Show visited Komazi and Mzinti for the Triple M tournament, which is Mokone Matchless Moments over the weekend of the 10th and 11th of September 2022 in the birthday celebration of Stembiso Mashilwane in collaboration with Bafana and Captain City left-back Terrence Mashego. Our host David Samgete had a brief conversation with the football star in an exclusive interview, and this is what he had to say.
Hello everyone, this is Mpumalanga Grassroots Football Show. I'm David Samgete, the host of this show. I have to welcome you in this exclusive interview with the current Cape Town City and current Bafana left back Terrence Mashego. Say, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm very well. We're down in Komazi Mzinti today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful day. I mean, the weather is fine. The weather is good. The players are ready. I can see there's quite few good players who are committed to the game. I mean, even the people are happy. The fans are out. I mean, you could see the whole community is out. It's here to support the youngsters, to support their talents.
Terrence, you're here to support this tournament. Why did you come down and support this kind of a tournament?
Yeah, for me, this kind of a tournament, it's important. You know, the grassroots level, it's important. I mean, for you to have a good national team, for you to have a good, proper PSL teams, you need to start at the grassroots. I mean, so for me, this is important. I mean, also, this is close to my heart. I mean, because this is a level whereby I saw myself developing as an individual. I mean, for me, this was the best moment in my life, whereby there was an up and downs, and also with the lack of support, I mean, it was difficult for me. So for me to see people like Stembiso who are there to support the community, I mean, it means a lot to me.
It means a lot to you. So because you've been here for the whole day, the talent that you just saw here, is it promising that maybe one day we'll see one of these boys playing where you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, with a bit of, I would say, training and also a bit of teaching, I mean, most players can develop, because you can see that the talent is there. It's just that, obviously, you know, most players are in a rural areas. I mean, some they lack a bit of coaching, but you can see the talent is there. They just need an opportunity for them to showcase their talent in a well-established environment, in a well-structural environment, whereby they get a bit of support from the coaches, and also with coaches that have more knowledge and also more qualifications. I mean, most players that I saw from here, I mean, I believe they can make it in professional level.
Terrence, looking on this one, you were once a player who was playing this kind of a tournament while you grew up. Tell us about your upbringing and maybe your love for football. How come did you manage to be that player who was playing in that grassroots?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm a township boy. I mean, I grew up in Mamelodi. You know, Mamelodi is a township whereby, yes, there might be a few legends, but, you know, growing up in a township, like, it's a bit of a disadvantage. So growing up, it was difficult for me. It wasn't easy. I mean, I had to do extra, I had to do more in order for me to be recognized in a different level. I mean, I was very fortunate enough because I was resilient to be precise. I mean, I was resilient, especially with my talent. When I got an opportunity, like whether I play like a tournament, a township tournament or something, I always give my best. I always give 100%. So I was fortunate that I met someone like Bonso, who gave me an opportunity to go to the National First Division, which I would say for me, it was a blessing. I mean, because me finding myself in that situation, I was able to find myself where I am today. But everything just started there, like in the National First Division.
So you say you were spotted by Ponto, and then he's the one who gave you the opportunity maybe to play in a formal setup of football. I know he scouted you on a game that you were losing. How was that game?
Yeah, I mean, it was an awkward moment because, you know, I think Ponso saw me about maybe last 10 minutes of the game, And when he came to me, like I was surprised because we just lost the game. Then he came to me, he said, "Boy, you know what? Like I'm impressed by your attitude. I'm impressed by your talent, especially like because of it wasn't just an talent, but the attitude." He told me about my attitude, like as a player. Like for him, I think from the conversation that we had, he told me that he doesn't see me as a regular player. I mean, he had a vision of me, like he saw me as a national asset, of which at that time, if you tell me like I'll be a national team player, like it was difficult for me to believe. But he saw that in me, so that's why like even today I regard him as a family member.
Regarding me as a family member, how did you manage, or how did you end up being a player of Mtata Bucks?
Yeah, I mean, Bonso, after he saw me during that tournament in Hammarskraal, like he told me that he organized a trial for some few players. They are going to Eastern Cape for a trial. I think it was a week trial. So he came to my home and then he met my parents. Then after that, he booked a bus for me to go to Mtata. I mean, the rest is history.
The rest is history. Then you move from Tata to TS Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, after I spent about 2 years in Mtata in the Eastern Cape, actually, yeah, it was 2 seasons. So we got relegated in the second season. So it was a difficult period for me. And then luckily, because of I had bones on my back, he told me, "No, man, there's a there's a guy who bought a team in Pumalanga. His name is Tim Sugas. He was a agent, and they are doing some trials." So I said to him, "Okay, it's fine. I'll go there for a trial." And then I went there for a trial. I mean, within 2 weeks, like the coaches were impressed by me. Then they signed me.
How did your life change while after you've joined TS Galaxy?
My life changed drastically, like to be precise, because of joining TS Galaxy. We had a few youngsters. I mean, the team was basically made of youngsters. I mean, the oldest player was about 25 or 26, so it was just youngsters. And for us to play the Nedbank Cup, I mean, it was a blessing for us. I mean, our lives changed because once we started playing the Nedbank Cup, there was a lot of interest from different PSL teams, and also the fans like were interested. I mean, everyone wanted to see where most of us are going to end up at. So I think joining TS Galaxy has changed my life. Like I don't want to lie.
That dressing room moment before you go for the final outside, you were facing Kaizer Chiefs at Moses Mabhida Stadium. The team talk there, was there anything new, anything different compared to the other games to play?
Yeah, I mean the mood was different. Like I don't want to lie, because of especially I would say 5 days before the final, the mood was different. First training session, like there's a lot of cameras, there's a lot of journalists. I mean, for us it was something new. So, and especially considering that we were playing against Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs is the biggest team in South Africa so far at the moment. So like playing Kaizer Chiefs on that day, I mean, it was different. Like everyone was interested, like the fans, everyone. Even going to a garage to buy some bread, it was difficult because everyone was talking about the game. Like everyone was just interested. So the mood was different. I don't want to lie.
Then after you played so well with TS Galaxy, and then you moved to Cape Town City.
Yeah, I mean, I spent about 2 seasons with TS Galaxy. I had a very good 2 seasons with TS Galaxy, and Cape Town City was interested. They gave me a call. I mean, we organized. Then I managed to get to be transferred to Cape Town City, of which the first season was a bit challenging. Like it was my first season in a professional setup. Like it was a new environment for me, so it was a bit challenging. But I mean, I'm very proud of myself. I mean, I was able to adapt to the pressure. Even though when I arrived to the team, I mean, the player that I was competing with at Milson Dove, I mean, he got injured. Then I had to step up and take that leadership role. So I mean, for me, I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud of what I've did.
Proud of what you did. There's a lot of changes, or there were a lot of changes when it comes to the technical staff, the coaching department. You've worked with a couple of coaches. Now you work under Eric Tindler. How does it feel, or what difference does it make in your football game?
Yeah, I mean, when I came to Cape Town City, it was Coach Ricky Rinky. and then he left, I think, in the first half of the season. And then Coach Eric came. With Coach Eric, because of he wanted to sign me even before I went to Cape Town City. So for me to work with him, it was easy. I don't want to lie, because of the type of a person that I am. I think I'm a player that is coachable. So for me, like, it's not difficult to adapt to any philosophy of any coach. So like it's easy for me to adapt. Whether if you give me an instruction, I'm able to execute the instruction and follow the instruction.
At the moment, Terrence, you are a national player. You are in national team, so you playing the first call up that you got. Where were you, man? How did it feel? Then how did you take it in?
Yeah, when the first call up came, I mean, I was prepared. I don't want to lie, because of I had a I had a good season, and also when Coach Hugo Brozo was announced, I mean, I was listening to his interviews. He said in his interviews that he was looking to bring youngsters in, and for me as a youngster, and I was doing well in my position, so I was expecting that call up. So when the call up came, I remember I was at home and everyone was calling my phone. They said, "Hey, you're in the national team." But to me, like, it didn't come as a surprise, because that was something that I was expecting. Yeah.
You did put work on it. That is why you managed to get that collapse. So how do you keep yourself fit? Do you do extra training? We know a lot of professional players, maybe they get distracted by a lot of things. How do you keep yourself grounded?
Yeah, I don't want to lie. Like, at this level, like, there's a lot of distraction, but it's about you being disciplined. Like, I mean, I always tell people that you need to know when to do things and how to do things. You understand? Especially once you start understanding when to do things. I mean, there's a lot that is happening, and we're also human beings, but you need to understand when are you supposed to do things and how are you supposed to do things, especially us, because we are in the spotlight. You understand what I'm saying? And also with football, like, you need your body. So whatever that you do, like, you need to understand that it will have an impact on your body. So once you start to discipline yourself, like, and also do things that will help you, I mean, you'll progress in this career.
You'll progress definitely. Man, football is a short-term career. You might be injured anytime. Maybe you will play until you're 35, you're 42, but you won't play until you're 60. Your plans after football?
Yeah, because of before I went to Mtata, like, I was a student. I was doing my second year as a sports scientist. So when I went to Eastern Cape, it was difficult for me to study, because TET doesn't have a long distance education. So I had to quit my diploma, and actually I had to pause my diploma. So after TS Galaxy, then I decided to go back to school. Then I decided to do law, because I think there's a bit of a gap that I want to fill up, especially in football when it comes to contracts and also sponsorship. So I believe there's a bit of a gap that I can fill up. So that's why I decided to study law.
So we're talking about someone who will become an advocate in the near future.
Yeah, like, but to be specific, I don't want to be like an advocate or a lawyer. I just want to have that qualification. I think it's a base that will help me. It's a foundation that will help me to understand more about contracts and also sponsorship. And also, coming from a football background, I mean, I understand what is happening behind closed doors. I understand a lot of stuff that is happening. So, I mean, it will give me a bit of an advantage.
So as a Bafana player, you traveling with the team, you know what people are saying about Bafana, their previous glories, what they did in '96. You have to emulate them. It comes with a lot of pressure. But where do you see Bafana heading?
I mean, like I said, I want the people to be patient with the national team. I mean, I understand the 96 class, they did very well. They managed to win the AFCON. But the main thing is, what did the nation do after the 96 World Cup? I mean, I think maybe there's probably something that we got wrong. I mean, there's something that we didn't do as a nation. And tournaments like this, like a grassroots level, tournament, I think it's something that will help and build the national team.
that will help to build a national team. So now, Terrence, because you've been here, you saw what the players can do. So can you maybe sum up by telling us how did you see the tournament? Any player promising in this one? Are you willing to come back next year?
Yeah, like I'm looking forward to come back next year because I believe there's a lot of talent that is happening here. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of players who are promising. It's about the community, like it's about the parents help being able to support the talent. It's about us, like as a nation, to be able to support the talent. I mean, the talent is there. You can see, like if someone can kick the ball, then it means there's a talent. We just need to build them. We just need to encourage them, because as a young player, like there's a list that you know and there's a list that you understand about life. But the moment you have a backup of a community, I mean, you can progress. Like you can achieve anything that you want to do, I believe.
Terrence, thanks a lot, man. It's nice to see you down in Komazi. We wish you all the best and an injury-free career.
Okay, thanks a lot.
And on that note, the Mpumalanga Grassroots Football Show had conducted these interviews 2 days before Terrence Mashego joined Mamelodi Sundowns from Cape Town City on a 5-year contract.
We here, Mzinti and Komazi. There's a lot that is happening around. We have people who are gathered here enjoying the birthday yesterday. Players are expressing themselves while they know that there's a possibility that they will be scouted and be set to better teams. MTC, the young boys, they can maybe go for MTC. There are those players, maybe they can go for even NFT, they can go for PSL. They can go all the ranks like Terrence, who did go all the way. Now he's playing for a Cape Town City. But we have the brain behind all of this scouting thing, Mr. Poncho Matumo, who is sitting with us here. We want to hear everything from him. Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, how are you?
I'm very well. Finally, we met.
Yeah, I'm good. We've been knowing each other, I think, for 5 years now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Man, we with Terrence Mashego. How did you scouted this man? There's 22 players playing in 90 minutes, but you managed to see something from him.
Okay. I remember when I see Terrence, it was on 2016 or 17. He was playing in a tournament in my hometown in Hammanskraal. There's a guy, Zakele Siwele, is a professional referee, match official, who hosting the tournament annually. So I remember I was from work. I was working as a manager in the insurance company. Then I went home to watch the tournament. It was like, I think 15 minutes. They were losing 3-0. Then he was one of those players who have energy, endurance, and he was showing potential. And he was even like playing as if like they were winning, but they were losing. So after the game, after 15 minutes, then I approached him. Then we spoke, and then I invited him so that, look, I'm an agent. I was starting, and then at that time I didn't even register the company. I was just seeing what, how, and so forth, because I love football. So I invited Terrence to meet me in McDonald's in Acadia on Monday, and we met. Then I told him regarding the Umtata bags. Trial list that we wanted the players. So yeah, we arranged the bus, and then he went to Umtata, and then he spent I think 1.5 season there. Yeah, and then everything now is fine, and we're happy.
Man, this scouting thing is a headache. How do you manage to keep it going?
I believe scouting and being an agent and a scouter is all about being like a soccer player. Not everyone will be a soccer player and a professional, but I think it's a talent that you're born with, and then it's all about getting a right contact and getting a right players and having an eye to scout the players that are quality to make it in professional.
Your company, you said now you've registered the company. What's the name of the company?
My company is called Cream Sports Management. Because of what I called it Cream Sports, firstly, it was because of my son, who I'm calling a cream. So I wanted to leave it in legacy. And then after scouting a Terrence, seeing that everything is possible, because of I didn't know how it does. Remember, growing in a rural area, I don't know what's happening and so forth. So after seeing Terrence blossoming and doing good, then I said, wow, there's a cream. Then that's what my company started as a cream, and then I registered it.
So now, as a registered company, you have players, especially you have Terrence now, who's playing professionally. What can you promise the public? How many players that you think in a year or in a season or two will make it professional?
Look, football it's different. How I see it as a scout, we're not looking at the fun of the game. We're not looking at the score of the game. We're not looking at the players that are there that are traveling, but we're looking at the talent. We're looking at if the player can fit in the certain teams and so forth. That's why we call it the scouting. We're looking at a lot of things in the player. So what I can say here, I've been here from yesterday and today, and there's one player that has impressed me. Okay, there's two players that impressed me. One, it were knocked out yesterday, but I think he can make it a professional in 2 or 3 years to come. And there is another player that is number 10. Definitely, I think in 2 months, 3 months, people will hear about him. And then for us to come here in a rural area where there's a tournament, where there's a lot of talent, because I've heard about Mpumalanga players that are talented and strong and very well. But today I've seen for myself that, you know what, I'm guaranteed that I'm going to get another Terrence Mashego. Though it's a different position, but I believe that number 10, Kize, is one of the top players.
That number 10 is one of the top players. Yeah, I've known the boy. I've saw the boy participating in the APC Motsepe League, so the potential is there. So when they want to reach Cream Sports, what people need to do?
Okay, as Cream Sports Management, we doing differently. Currently now, as what I said, I believe in scouting for myself. I believe in traveling, going to the tournaments where I'm being invited and looking at the talent and everything. So what I've seen in that, specifically in that number 10, he is a team player. He knows the time to pass the ball. He knows how to space, and he scores goals. Currently now, we have already scored 3 goals because I think his team, he played yesterday they played a difficult team, today they built a difficult team, but he scored a winning goal, and you say how he took that goal. It was massive. It was something that is awesome.
Very awesome. You can see it was just a cross that was in the 6-8, and it was
He was looking at it, and then he just was in the right place. Yes, that's what we need in the players.
Poncho, you from Hammanskraal, you in Mpumalanga, you have to travel around the country so you can find players. I think you're facing some challenges with your company. You have to get funds, you have to travel, you have to sleep over, you have to pay for that. There's a lot of people who they think they can do scouting, they can be agent. You said earlier that this is the talent, but what advice can you give to people who wants to follow where you are now?
Look, what I can tell people that want to be an agent and so forth, it's not about you being an agent, saying an agent like a player, everyone can play football. As an agent, you need to have a contacts, you need to associate with people, you need to travel a lot, and then you need to also prepare yourself to use your funds from your own pocket so that you can go and travel. Because of, like Stembiso now, he invited me with the expenses and everything, which I'm privileged with that, which is something that as an agent we know. We want it, but certain people, they don't see it. Because at the end of the day, if I'm helping the player from the certain community, obviously the community will have a name, and the player will grow, and then he will be a bigger player like Terrence. He's a bigger player now, and people thought Terrence is from Mamelodi. Yes, he's grown in Mamelodi, but it's from this side of Mpumalanga, where we scouted him without even having someone to help out with the funds and everything. But as an agent, and if you want to be an agent, the most important thing that you need to have is having that eye to scout the talent, have that passion to be in football. That's what I can say. Scouting with an eye for the God, and then I also have a passion for football, and then have a good communication, and have a certain qualifications that you can say, like you can be a marketer, a lawyer, a sports management, that you know that certain things that need an admin so that you can have an organized an agent so that you can run it.
Poncho, thanks a lot, man. We see the passion is written all over your face. You want to do things, you want to make it happen. All the best, man. I think you will see your agency growing and having players playing even abroad. You will have a lot of players that will be playing professionally. Thanks a lot for your time. While you're still hanging around, there's still going to be talent that you're going to see.
Thank you very much, and I would like to thank to people from Inkomazi and people from all the areas that have supported me in my agency, and all the coaches that I've worked with, and the players, and you as the people in the media, and people like Terrence. Even now, we still family, we still friends, we still communicating, still help me with the scouting players, because I've seen that it's got an eye for a player. I've got a player that I'm managing now currently in my stable that was scouted by Terrence, which is good for me, and it shows that even after his football career, this Cream Sports will continue to scout more players. But what I can say with the people from Nkomas and Mpumalanga, from today on, you've got a star that has been born that I've chosen is number 10.
Thanks a lot, man. Stay slaughter the whole cow. We have to go and eat.
Thank you very much, man.
Pans Mzinti in Komazi. That's where everything is happening. I'm with the great man with some great idea that he did put here and is in full motion today. That is why we in this tournament that is Triple M birthday tournament for Mr. Stay, who is here next to me. So we're gonna hear from him where all this is coming from. Stay, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, because I'm in Komazi today, so everything is going partial. Say, we here with this tournament. It was your birthday.
Yeah, it was a birthday like no other. You know, I can never express enough how grateful I am for everything that is happening, how the whole program is proceeding smoothly, and how everyone generally is excited and in the mood. It shows that it was something that, you know, these guys have waited for so long. We updated it everywhere in our Facebook, social media pages. And yeah, I mean, immediately I drove down here. When I was about to get home, I found a lot of young boys standing here, like they knew that I'm coming. And for them, they wanted to see that car that is coming with hope and excitement for them.
You did it on the old way, traditional way. You slaughtered a whole cow. You slaughtered a whole cow for the community. Why?
So, I mean, like, this thing is all about love, first of all, and also, you know, in this very same house, we sort of, my mom has instilled that principle of giving back. I mean, over the years, I saw her raising so many young guys coming and stay with us, and then once they, you know, make it, and then they leave, and then they start their own life. So it is something that I get it from my parents, and I felt like, you know, if I can easily do an exclusive party and then get a few people to come and eat and all of that, but I decided, no one, let me just also give the people who will come and enjoy with us, because one, it's my birthday. As much as it is a tournament, let me just share with the guys and just the community in general. So that's where it came from, and out of everything, it's all about love.
Let's talk about the tournament, because everyone who can maybe celebrate their birthday, they choose how to celebrate their birthday. And then you did choose to celebrate it by making this magnificent tournament that we see on our background. The idea, why did you choose to make a tournament?
So usually I travel, and I travel a lot. I sit down and say, you know, I now have connections, friends with Terrence, you know, and it's not only Terrence, but a couple of Cape Town City guys that I hang out with. I was like, why don't I just, you know, link up these guys and then see what they can do for the younger ones that are coming, because, you know, these guys, they play soccer, they watch soccer. It's very rare opportunity where you interact with seasoned professional like Terrence. And more important, so because of the fact that we are far from everything, as much as teams have scout us, I don't think that they get to travel to this far, because one of also the fact that it's always warm. People don't want to come here. I was like, but if I have a link up from these guys, maybe they can get me one scouter to come and look at and scout at the talent. And for me, having like a boy being scouted and then he goes and make it, that raised our community, that raised our profile and all of that. So yeah, it's all centered around the idea of now development and then helping the younger boys out. And yeah, I'm thankful to Terrence. He came on board and he said, I will get my scout, the person who discovered me from the dust, and I will get him to come, and he did come.
Where do you see this tournament going? Because this is the first of its kind this season or this year. Where do you see it going? What is your wishes regarding this tournament?
So my wish is that it becomes a regular thing every year. That's why I termed this an inaugural MMM tournament. I'm getting a whole lot of guys coming saying, "Look, if you do it next year," because now we've seen the idea, it works, and people are sort of well receiving it. So I already have one a local business woman who said, whatever you do next year, I'm gonna go 50% on it, and that's the kind of things that I'm looking for, and I'm hoping that will go forward will help me to stage the tournament in each and every year. I know that Bonzo, the scouter, has already promised things that next year I'm gonna provide you, and then you can even up the price, the prices that they receive. So yeah.
Yourself, have you ever been on a soccer field?
Yes, I grew up playing soccer actually in the very same ground that is here, and I always say, when talk about this thing with Terrence, that I feel like soccer has sort of shielded from me from all the social ills, because the only thing that we used to do is we come back home, you clean, the next thing you will hear a referee blowing a whistle, you like literal gone. Then you're gonna spend the rest of your day there, come back bath, and then you're done. And so I played soccer until I got to university, and I think for some odd reasons I decided that let's just drop it. But I still have the love for soccer, and I'm also showing it with this tournament that I still I want to see others make it. As much as ourselves, we never had the chance to play for any tournament of sort. It was all about we're gonna play 50 rand and all of that, and But this one, let's just bring a flavor to this thing. Let's just bring a different angle, and yeah, people are receiving it well, and everyone is excited, and I'm excited. I'm particularly happy, and yeah.
Lastly, what can you say to those people who have maybe something small that they can give to a community? What are the motivation words that you can give it to them?
It's just that. That's the thing that I figured out as we continue, as we try to put together these programs, that once people see that you literally doing the idea, trying to execute the idea, they come on board. But if you are to just keep saying I'm going to do it, and then people really don't buy into the idea unless you do. So if you have an idea to start something that like this, just go and do it. Even if you start with 5 rands, 10 rand, and all of that, people will come on board. And then if they see that you executing the plan and you doing it with passion and passion and love, and people, the thing is with people, then once they start with the idea, and then along the side, the journey, they start getting greedy. Now you want to get money out of it. It's no longer about love and all of that. But if you do it genuinely from your heart, and then you show that is something that you want to do, and you're not getting something out of it, you can get something. But if it doesn't work, like, you need to be comfortable and say, this I can still do the tournament without having me receiving some kickbacks on monies and all of that.
Man, we can talk and talk and talk, but what is good is that you did call the community to come together in celebration of your birthday, whilst young boys are benefiting from this one. When they even saw Terrence Mashego, who is playing in the Elite League. We have a Ponso Matumo, who is here, the big scout who scouted the boy that is even in the national team now. I hope next season there will be something much, much bigger. It's bigger already, and then there will be something much, much bigger coming next year.
100%. That is my wish, and I wish the tournament grows in strength, breadth, and width. And I pray every day that next year we meet here with something extravagant.
That's what I'd say. Enjoy the day.
Thanks.